Hello, Mark McDonald again with First United Methodist Church of Batesville as we continue our devotional Experiencing God, Knowing and Doing the Will of God. We're on week 7, day 2. I said I was going to stop saying that, but it's worth the practice. Today, we're going to start off our study with a verse from Hebrews 11, chapter 11, verse 1, and it is one that you have heard undoubtedly before. Faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. I like to use this because the 11th chapter of Hebrews, which of course is where our verse comes from today, is one that teaches a great deal about how to understand faith. The way that I've learned that particular verse is to understand that it is in two parts that we have faith. You've heard the saying before, trust and verify, right? From old Ronald Reagan, the big Gipper used to tell us that. I was with somebody one day and they said, that is malarkey. You don't trust and verify, you trust or verify. You either trust something or you verify it to be sure that you believe in it. And we get through all that. We find ourselves in kind of a conflict sometimes in what we consider faith because we want to believe that God is bigger than all this, that we can trust in God, but we know what we see. Sometimes things don't line up. We're going to talk about that in a lot of different ways this week, but like yesterday we talked about the word crisis. Today, I want you to think of the word faith. And in Hebrews 11:1, I like to summarize that by saying it is both belief and trust. Listen to that verse again. Faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. Do you hear the juxtaposition between faith and belief? We're sure of what we hope for. We're certain of what we can't see. It is both a combination of faith and trust. If you think of Jesus and his example of having faith the size of a mustard seed, if you have it that small, you can move mountains. You start to understand this concept of faith in the Bible is not just belief. So we say we have a crisis of belief or a crisis of faith. Well, an encounter with God requires faith to move through our crisis of belief. I think I mixed the words up a little bit yesterday, so bear in mind with me in this because it does get a little down in the mud, but that's the idea. Sometimes our crisis is not so much about our faith, it's about what we believe in. When God gives us something that only God can do. There's some church examples in today's study. It's also going to ask you to take some time in your journaling in this to write down some of your personal examples of times that you feel like you fell short in your faith. Think of it in terms of belief and trust, because there's a beautiful little, I believe it's a hymn at the very end of this, and one of my side columns says, if it's going to get done. So often we find ourselves caught between this. And the example that we have today, and a lot of the examples this week, are going to push us in ways. We don't do a budget purely because we believe that God will give us anything we ask for. There is a reality. But there are some wonderful examples in here about how you set up for what you know you can do, but you also work toward what you have faith and hope that God will do. And you do so with your eyes straight ahead on what God is doing. Not just your limitations, but God's unlimited ability. I hope that helps as you prepare for your lesson today. Be a blessing.